Hey everyone, it's Kat for the Wisteria Witches, and I'm here today to talk about Yule. Go figure, considering that it's coming up so much faster than I think any of us seem to be ready for, especially me. I'm very much looking forward to it though, and I wanted to talk a little bit about what my family is doing, as well as kind of different places that I've drawn different traditions from. So, without any further ado, you can definitely tell that my house is getting bedecked with all kinds of holiday cheer. We obviously did put up a tree. This tree is real, and it's actually from my uncle's farm where my husband and I got married. So that was a very cool sort of little romantic thing that we decided to do. It was very cold when we got our tree, but it was a fun experience nonetheless, and I'm really pleased with how it came out. As far as a topper, I know some pagans that do use a star, because obviously the star is a symbol that we use, but I decided to put a bow, and you can't see it very well from this angle, but there is a bow, a big gift bow at the top of the tree. And just for funsies, our stockings are hilarious. Tom's is definitely Batman, and mine has Tinkerbell on it because we're definitely grown-ups. But anyhow, for Christmas proper, Tom and I will be visiting our families and doing all that kind of stuff because they obviously do celebrate Christmas. But for Yule, I'm very excited because it falls on a weekend, which means that we can actually stay up all night long and not completely regret it the next morning. What we plan on doing that evening mostly includes kind of hanging out, playing board games, card games, and just kind of really having fun in a way that we don't get to all the time, because usually we're running errands or we have chores to do or whatever the case might be. So I'm very excited and very much looking forward to that. I'm sure we'll also probably watch some Christmas movies, and we're planning on ordering pizza from this really great place nearby, which we don't order from very often because it's pretty expensive, but for a special occasion I think it'll be fun. And another thing that I'm going to do is actually a carryover from something from my childhood and Christmas. When I was young, elementary school age, probably before the age of 10, I would go to church every Christmas and Easter with my entire family. And this was a Catholic church. And I actually looked forward to it quite a bit when I was little because it actually was a lot of fun in comparison to the average mass outside of Christmas. Every year at this particular church, the priest would invite all of the kids up onto, I guess you'd call it the altar, the whole area. It was a very large stage where he did his thing. And so we would all come up there and sit on the steps and things, and we'd all be gathered around. And it was a tradition that if you knew the program, you would bring a bell, but they also passed out bells to kids that didn't have theirs. And the priest would talk to us for a little while and do his little sermon, homily, whatever. And then they would sing various Christmas carols, and we would ring the bells at certain points, and it was very festive and fun. As a kid, I thought it was exciting and fun. And then after Mass, as everybody was leaving, and as you walked out into the breezeway right before the corridor right out before the door, they would be there with these big carts full of cake, and it was meant to be birthday cake for Jesus. And I just remember as a kid thinking that was the coolest thing, that somebody thought of making birthday cake for Jesus, because it's his birthday, ostensibly. So I just thought it was such a cool concept. And I know that a lot of people that are Wiccan or Wiccan adjacent like the story of the Oak and the Holly King fighting on the solstices, and I like the story well enough, but I prefer the kind of other cycle where on the longest night of the year, which is the winter solstice, obviously, the goddess gives birth to the sun god. And I think that's a really beautiful metaphor for what happens through the winter, because it's a hard time, I think, living in Chicago anyway. I think it's kind of a rough time to make it through, and it's like, okay, we're through the worst of it. So I really like that metaphor, and so I've decided to do birthday cake for the sun, and I'm not exactly sure what that's gonna look like, but maybe I'll do a video on that when I actually make it closer to Yule, and maybe put that on my personal channel or something like that. Anyway, and then as far as what we're actually doing throughout the night, I mean, it's not super unique as far as like playing games and watching movies and all these sorts of things. But one thing that I brought it up to a couple of people, but I don't think anybody on YouTube. There was this children's show, again from my childhood. I don't know if anybody remembers it. It was a Canadian show that was on PBS here in the States. It was called The Big Comfy Couch. It was this. It's completely geared for children, and it would have been on, I don't know, more than 15 years ago now, and it was about this clown, but not like scary, creepy clown. Like, you know, she just wore like a red nose, basically. So the clown was the main character, and then she had a doll, and they were the sort of the main center of the show. And they had one episode that was all about the longest night of the year. And it was basically a takeoff of Christmas in a lot of ways. There was, they gave each other gifts and all these sorts of things, but it also was really, really, really tied into the solstice. And I think it went right over my head as a kid. I just thought they were just talking about Christmas. But looking at it now, they're plainly talking about the solstice, and they talk about it being the longest night. There's a song about it being the longest night, and about the cycle of the year, and how they're looking forward to spring, and the things that are coming after that. And they stay up to watch the sunrise, which is another thing that I'm hoping to make it for this weekend. And I actually found the entire episode on YouTube, and I'm going to link it in the description box in case any of you have kids and want to show it to them, or just are curious to see, because it is very cute. It's a short episode. It's a kids show. They're not going to be very long, but it made an impression on me, obviously, too. Still remembered it. It stuck out. And I think that I hope that it's still around, that I'm able to get my hands on it when we have a family, whatever that looks like, because I think it's a really great way to explain what the winter solstice is to kids. And it's very cute. The little clown family and group of friends, they all give each other a gift and a wish, and it's very cute, and obviously a little corny because it's geared towards young children, but I liked it nonetheless, and I still do. So that's pretty much all I have to say today. Our celebration is going to be pretty simple. We have decorated, and I'm very much looking forward to it. I am going to be doing a couple of things on my personal channel. Like I said, I do have at least one recipe, aside from possibly doing whatever happens with this sun birthday cake. So those will be coming up on my personal channel. If you're not currently subscribed, it's Cat by Candlelight. And anyway, if I don't talk to any of you before that, I hope you all have a very Merry Yule, and take care and stay warm if you're in a cold part of the world. Take care, guys. Blessed be.